Hi, sentence analyst Dr. Melanson here as the other part of the Complete Sentence Super Team. As you know, the topic for this set of videos is verbals, and Dr. Miller has already explained what verbals are and how they transmigrate in the first video for this week. My objective is first to follow up by highlighting how verbals function, and two, to demonstrate how we diagram them. As Dr. Miller explained in video number 1, participles and gerunds are the base form of the verb plus an ending such as ing, as in swimming, ed, played, en, taken, or an irregular form like read. Participles and gerunds can serve as part of the verb, as an auxiliary or a helping verb. For example, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was appointed as the second woman on the U.S. Supreme Court by Bill Clinton. Appointed is the past participle of the verb. Here we're using it as part of the verb to construct passive voice, if you remember back to our discussion about verbs and their qualities. Also in this diagram, I'll just point out our expletive as, and that we're in the sentence pattern where when we have the passive voice of a factitive verb, we're looking for a subject complement. So woman renames Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Participles can also serve as adjectives. So RBG wrote dissenting opinions. Which kind of opinions? Dissenting opinions. So just like we did adjectives, we're going to diagram that modifier under the word that it's qualifying, but instead of putting a slanted line, we curve it slightly to show that it is something different, right? That it is a verbal as opposed to rote, smart opinions. Participles, and when they serve this way, we can add a qualifier and call them gerunds. Participles, particularly present participles that are going to end in ing, can serve as nouns. In the example, fighting for a legal end to gender discrimination became her legacy. You'll see here that when we diagram them as nouns, we use a pedestal because they're doing a nouny thing on the baseline of our diagram. Maybe they're serving as a subject like here, or a predicate nominative, or an appositive, or a direct object, an object of the preposition, an object complement. They can do all of those things. But we're going to diagram these gerunds, or participles acting as nouns, on a pedestal, wherever it ordinarily would have gone in terms of its function in the sentence. So again, we have fighting in the subject. We have its modifiers under it, right? So participles are going to be functioning mostly as parts of the verb, adjectives, nouns. This is how you would diagram them. And if you would like to, you can call the participles that are acting as nouny things with ing endings gerunds as a further qualifier. Another kind of participle or part of the verb is infinitives. And infinitives, as Dr. Miller reminded us, is to plus the base form of the verb, such as to find. Infinitives can function as adjectives, adverbs, nouns. So to give you an example here, I have a sentence that includes them in all three ways. When to appoint RBG's successor has now become a topic to debate and necessary to address. So first we have to appoint, to plus the base form of the verb appoint, serving as the subject, its modifier when below it. We have another infinitive, to debate, which is telling us which topic. So in that sense, we have an infinitive serving as an adjective. And then we have to address, another infinitive that's modifying necessary, why it's necessary. And so in that sense, it's serving as an adverb. And you'll see that these infinitives go on our baseline, go on a pedestal, right? Coming from the baseline where ordinarily we would have put them. Again, to signify that something is happening differently. There's some transmigration. We have these verbals that are functioning in other ways. However, they may still contain qualities of verbs. And so really, to show you that, what if I changed our sentence from when to appoint RBG successor has now become a topic to debate necessary to address to has now become a topic for the people to debate. All of a sudden here we see that the infinitive can have its own subject. And in the prior sentence, to appoint RBG successor, the infinitive can have its own direct object. So again, just as a reminder that, as Dr. Miller said, verbals, right, although they can function as other parts of speech, they still maintain some of their verb qualities, and that's what allows them to have their own subjects, direct objects, subjects, and subject complements, for example. All right, well, hopefully this has served as just a quick review. We'll do plenty of practice this week across class. This is where we'll be working on verbals all week long, so make sure you bring questions and concerns to class. We'll do the lessons in Mr. Mustache as well as some other practice. But ultimately, in order to know, we're going back to our same question: how do you know how to diagram a verbal or where to put it? By deciding how it's functioning in the sentence. See y'all in class.